It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley along with Trey Trenholm today. Today is Thursday, December 5th, 2024. Welcome inside the Treehouse. We normally start with something lighthearted and stupid to really kind of get the juices flowing. The stupid juices like to get warmed up a little bit. But we do need to be honest about something, and that is there is a bit of a cloud hanging over us inside the Treehouse. In Greenville, Texas, last week, a young man by the name of Cooper Dawson put on his police uniform, his badge, his gun, his taser, all the things that a police officer carries with them, along with the weight of a community and the weight of a young family. Little did he know that would be the last time he would put on that uniform. And little did he know that it would be the last time he would see his family. It is a pain that I cannot fathom that his young widow and his children must be feeling, his family must be feeling. We only know it from the outside. We have, since the early 2000s, been a part of the Listeners Foundation. I joined the Russ Martin Show in August of 2002. Trey, what year, when did you join the show?
October of 2002.
October 2002.
Well, officially. You've
been assisting long before that.
Yeah.
And by assisting, not just with the show, but also with the formation of the Russ Martin Show Listeners Foundation in the wake of September 11th. Because at that time, we worked for the Russ Martin Show at 105.3 FM in Dallas. And in the wake of 9/11, our Russ had the idea of, hey, there's all these officers and firefighters' families that have to wait a long time before benefits kick in. And there was no organization at the time to fill that gap in DFW. So Russ had the idea to form a foundation that would do just that. Trey was essential in helping him get that done. And then, as we've said before, everyone that's worked on the show since then has played a huge role in volunteering and assisting in the foundation's efforts. Unfortunately, the foundation can't help everyone. And we had a very grim reminder of that over the past week with the loss of Greenville police officer Cooper Dawson. Because when the foundation was formed and when it was cemented as a 501c3 with the federal government, there are certain guidelines that you have to follow. And part of which is you have to set up the mission statement, and it is very clear cut, and it has to be very cut and dry. And if you fall outside those parameters, you can get in trouble at a federal level. So it was established to maintain the viability of the foundation, geographical boundaries for the foundation, and limitations set so the foundation could serve the DFW community as best as it could. And those boundaries have been in place since the foundation was formed. And we've talked a lot about expanding those boundaries over the years. And we're not in a financial position yet to be able to do that. We hope to God someday we are, because we would gladly extend those boundaries to far-reaching places, even farther than, DFW, far beyond North Texas. We'd love to cover the whole goddamn country if we could, but we can't. And situations like the one in Greenville with Officer Dawson are excruciating, not only for his family, his community, but for us who, run the foundation to support families in that exact situation. However, the boundary is set so that way there's enough funds to cover the area that we currently cover. And while it absolutely makes us sick, we can't cover every situation. We can't cover every officer that falls in the line of duty, and we can't cover every firefighter that falls in the line of duty. Yeah. This is not the first time that this has happened, and unfortunately it won't be the last.
And let me just say this, because I've read a lot of other people that have written this. This is not, oh my gosh, it's Greenville, it's small, no one can. Like I grew up in Leonard, Fannin County. I'm 19 miles away from Greenville. I cannot tell you the number of Friday nights I spent cruising Greenville. It's and same thing, Sherman Denison with Grayson County. When we set up the foundation, we came up with a map of, and it had boundaries, and Grayson, Fannin, and Hunt County were out of those boundaries,
along with a bunch of other ones.
Yeah, and so Greenville's near and dear to my heart, and I to say we've been sick over this is almost an understatement. But the long-term preservation of the foundation is, has to be the ultimate goal.
Trey, you mentioned it. Some of the messages that we've received, email, Facebook message, Instagram. I want to share one of those with you, which I think summarizes very well some of what we've received and our response to it. I don't know if he wants this out there, so I'll leave his name off of it. When he hears this, he'll know it's him. But he says, "Hey guys, longtime listener, first time caller. Always appreciate that." He says, "I appreciate all you do and listening to you guys, but I have to say I'm disappointed here the last few days from y'all not giving any mention to Officer Cooper Dawson that fell in the line of duty in Greenville, Texas, passed away on November 26th. I know the foundation cannot give out checks to every fallen officer, and I do not know the boundary line for what is considered North Texas. I thought for sure, though, being so close to the Metroplex and his ties to starting out as an officer in Garland might have gotten at least a mention. Anyways, not sure how to sign off after voicing frustration other than to say I do enjoy the show and all the work y'all have done to keep it and the foundation going. Thank you for it all." My response was, "Hey," and his name, "I'm not sure how to start here, so here goes. I appreciate your kind words, but..." Feels weird, doesn't it? The but. Just because you haven't seen a post or heard a mention in the show does not mean it didn't or won't happen. And it doesn't mean we haven't been having serious discussions this past week and losing sleep about what to do in this situation. We are in the unenviable position of not issuing a check to a family because the incident occurred outside the geographical boundary of the foundation, and this isn't the first time we've had to do it. The foundation covers Dallas, Tarrant, Collin, Kaufman, Rockwall, Denton, Wise, Parker, Hood, Johnson, and Ellis counties. We would love to cover more, but we need more donations in order to support more counties. I hope you continue to support the show and the foundation, and I appreciate you doing so all this time. I also appreciate your message. Take care. His response. Hey, Dan, first off, thanks for the response. I know that probably sounds weird, but I do appreciate it in explaining the boundaries of the foundation. I had a sneaking suspicion that those were the boundaries, and I completely understand and respect that. Hopefully, with the show reaching more people, maybe there will be more donations and more help that can go out. In a way, the fact that y'all at least cussed and discussed it helps, although I hate that anybody lost any sleep over it. Anyways, thank you again for letting me vent. I know Hunt County is the redheaded stepchild of the area. It's not, but you all have a great day and a Merry Christmas. I'll keep climbing the rope ladder to the treehouse. And he signs off. So I appreciate you, sir. I really do. I sincerely appreciate the message. But I think it bears repeating. I just want this said. And this is true for the foundation. This is true for the show. And this is true for people in general. I want you to keep something in mind. Just because you don't see something, happening, doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It just means you haven't seen it. So please keep that in mind. And in watching some of that funeral service yesterday for Officer Dawson, it stings even more. And what I would like to do is to take that sting and try to make something as positive out of it as we can. And that is, if you are disappointed, as much as we are, in the foundation not covering this officer's tragic death in the line of duty, donate. The more you donate, the more we can give out. It is that simple. It is just that simple. And God, we want to. With every fiber of our being, we want to. I've said this many times over the years, and I'll continue to say it for as long as the foundation is in existence, and as long as this show keeps airing in whatever form it does so. When it comes to issuing checks to families of fallen police officers and firefighters, we hate that we have to do it, but we are honored that we get to. And we'll continue to do that, but in order to do it, we need your help. Trey, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, you said it all.
All right. Well, in that case, that's that. And now let's get back to our regularly scheduled program of stupid.
Let's go!
Edit that part out.
No, it's fitting.
Okay.
Let's go!
Let's get Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration into the Treehouse. 833-COOK-DFW for your free roof inspection. The website, cookdfw.com. You guys do lots of great work on roofs, and the restoration part of the side of the business also means, you're doing remodeling work underneath the roof inside the home as well. And you were telling me just recently that you, Daniel, and Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration offer lifetime warranties on all your work.
Yeah, Dan, that's something that we talked about for a while now, and we decided to go ahead and just pull the trigger on it. We've had excellent reviews. We've had excellent referrals. People really love our work when they give us a chance, and we just want to put our money where our mouth is. And, that's the best way I can always say that is just back it up. Back it up. When I was growing up and I told somebody I was going to kick their ass, you got to back it up. Well, now that I'm a grown man and we're doing professional services on people's homes, and I tell them that they're never going to have a better experience, I'm backing it up. We're going to take care of your home because we want you to have that peace of mind knowing that after we left, you have the very best product left behind. Your home is safe. Your family's taken care of, and that you don't have to worry about us not coming back.
You can experience it for yourself, and you can put your money where Daniel's mouth is, and he'll honor it. As you just heard, even if he dies, he's still going to honor this stuff. I mean, that's some serious integrity and quality craftsmanship to have the confidence to be like, yeah, this is how we do things. So you give the man a call for that free roof inspection, 833-COOK-DFW, the website, cookdfw.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Back inside the Treehouse now to your regularly scheduled stupid. I'm Dan O'Malley along with Trey Trenholm. Today is Thursday, December 5th, 2024. Would you like to go to Italy?
Sure.
Would you like to go to Italy for just $11?
Yes.
Well, now you can. Yeah, I went there. There now exists Lake Como Air. I don't mean an airline. I mean air from Lake Como. Are you familiar with Lake Como? If you're not, that's where George Clooney and his wife got married in the big elaborate thing in Italy on the Amalfi Coast. You'll hear things people talk about, it's the Amalfi Coast and blah, 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 blah. Look, it's gorgeous. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's a really good screensaver on my television of it. And if you don't have George Clooney movie star / tequila money like me, I don't. Trey, I'm not sure if you're hiding some somewhere. Jetting off to Lake Como is kind of pricey. But for just $11, you can get a can of fresh air from Lake Como, Italy. Yeah. This truly is one of those things that you can sell anything. You just need a buyer. But Lake Como Air, a luxurious Italian souvenir, promises to capture the essence of an enchanting corner of the world, according to its creator, David Abagnale. Each sleek silver can contains a curated blend of crisp Lake Como mountain fresh air and gentle lake mist, bottled directly from the source. Within its 400 milliliter tin, a precise mixture of nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, and trace elements like neon, helium, and krypton creates a sensory experience that transports you to the serene shores of Lake Como. The secret ingredient, a minuscule yet potent essence of the region itself. Nestled in Italy's Lombardy area, against the dramatic backdrop of the Alps, Lake Como is renowned for its breathtaking scenery, quaint villages, and shimmering waters.
So we're just getting closer and closer to Spaceballs.
Yes, very much. And once you've inhaled the heavenly scent, the can transforms into a practical and stylish accessory. Use it as a pen holder, plant pot, or any other creative purpose. Even the packaging is designed to be recycled, ensuring a sustainable and eco-friendly experience. Well, here, I have an idea. If you really want to reuse that can, take a big old dump in it and send it back.
Yeah, fertilizer. That's yeah. Unless it turns into a Schwartz ring, yeah, I'm out.
Do they sell those? I really want one of those.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Let's get Jacqueline from Brooks Plumbing into the Treehouse now. For any and all of your plumbing wants and needs, give her and all of them there a call, 214-368-3838, the website, brooksplumbingtexas.com. When I had my house in Dallas, Jacqueline, you came out a few times to help us with some issues, and your response time was phenomenal. And it wasn't just because it was me. It was because that's the kind of company you run. You go out of your way trying to help every client and try to get there as soon as you can.
Well, I mean, the reality of it is that plumbing is unfortunately a need and not so much a want. Yes, you can want to remodel the bathroom and that's not pressing, but typically when it comes to service or leak investigations, et cetera, if you've got a stoppage on the main line and you don't know and you keep putting liquid or, waste into the drains, if it has nowhere to go, it will come back in the house. And at that point in time, it's no longer a want, it's a need. And that sort of thing can't wait. When you have those emergencies, you have got to figure out how to manage the crew so that you can have the best response time.
That's right. And they'll show up and they'll do it quickly. Call Jacqueline from Brooks Plumbing for any and all of those plumbing wants and needs. 214-368-3838. And again, that website, brooksplumbingtexas.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. For your free roof inspection and to get yourself on the Cook list, call 833-COOK-DFW or the website cookdfw.com. That's for Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. That is cookdfw.com. This is the Treehouse. Trey, I need to share something with you. It's of a medical nature, so I don't know how much HIPAA applies when you broadcast this type of stuff, but I just think it's something that you need to be aware of. I have a brain disorder.
Okay.
I should probably be more clear about that. I have a new brain disorder. I think I have a pretty well established one already, but I do believe I have a new brain disorder. And I'd like to point out that I had a feeling I had this, but I didn't know what it was called until just a couple of days ago, and it got confirmed for me by the internet, which is a great place to go to have all your medical concerns confirmed, right? Trey, I have something called misophonia. It is a brain disorder, and it is real. Misophonia is when you get angry at people when you listen to them breathing or eating, and I have that. I've always known that I don't like mouth noises, which is truly troubling considering how I work in an audio industry and hearing things and speaking and mouth noises and microphones are a part of my everyday life.
But it also...
Go ahead.
Having done that for so long, and you hear audio and you hear people's mouth noises, I too share that one.
Yeah. I've had it my whole life. As far back as I can remember, I've had this disorder. But it did seem to get worse with age the more into the broadcast career I got, because like you said, audio all the time, even more sensitive to it. My first memory of misophonia was with my great-grandmother Glick, as if she wasn't already a horrible woman to begin with. Terrible racist. Mean lady. She would also smack her lips when she ate. But she had very thin lips, but she made sure to moisten them often whenever she ate. So it would sound something like this.
Stop.
Now, in order for me to make that noise, I have to do it with my teeth and my tongue. She was able to do it with extremely thin, racist old lady lips and one tongue. No teeth. Okay? And I think that's where it began. That's my origin story. But then now as an adult, it's even worse because I'll give you a great example. Our buddy Raj, who, by the way, we still have a brown alert out on. If you see Raj somewhere wandering the I-35 corridor, just point him in the direction of the Treehouse. I've purchased him a new microphone because hearing him smack and everything on his current microphone is driving me crazy. And I'm not the only one. There's a couple people that have sent me messages about it that drives them nuts too. So I'm not completely alone on this. But I'm just glad to know that I now have validation and that not only do I have a brain disorder, but the exact version of it is a real thing, because it's not just being annoyed at the sounds that people make, but actually being angry at them for it. I have that. I have it.
Yes. Having edited many shows with Raj, yes, that yes.
Do you have it too? Do we need to
always
start a support group?
I always thought it was kind of like PTRMSS,
which stands for
post-traumatic Russ Martin show syndrome. It's our mesothelioma.
Mm-hmm. I think we could do a middle of the night paid advertisement for that. And it would affect about 10 to 15 people. And but it would still make a difference.
Oh yeah.
because those people need help. Yeah, I think since you are suffering from this as well, Trey, the misophonia disorder, I think we can start a support group. I figure we can just meet once a week, right across the hall and right after my miso horny group. Sorry, when I
Yeah.
saw misophonia, I was like, wait, what? But it is real. I do have that.
There'll be some people who won't be allowed in, and they'll be very upset.
Well, we can't save them all.
Yeah.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Yeah, I don't think it would be fair if you have misophonia and you're also a horrible lip smacker. Get out. Just hate yourself in private.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You can talk back to us right here inside the Treehouse. Just go to treehouseonair.com, click on the microphone in the lower right-hand corner, leave us a message. We'll get it right here inside the Treehouse. And that's where we are right now, back inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan, along with Trey, on Thursday, December 5th, 2024. Just in time for the holidays, someone on TikTok is sharing a shopping hack that we all need to be aware of. Isn't that helpful? The TikTok influencers always sharing things, making our lives and worlds better, Trey.
Sadly, I've some of them actually are pretty interesting. TikTok is such a
It's a fascinating wasteland.
Yes, that eloquently put.
I'm on a roll today.
It is a dichotomy of absolutely useless crap and then some, insightful and helpful information.
Well, you happen to be, even though you are our oldest member of the Treehouse, you're also our TikTok expert, ironically, because that's usually a platform for the kiddos. So I'm curious to get your take on this. A TikTok influencer has shared footage of herself and her shopping hack in action at Target. The 22-year-old from Florida, her name is Marlena Velez. She's huge on TikTok. She has over 350,000 followers. She posts day in the life things, and some of those videos have millions of views. And she made news recently because she went to Target near Fort Myers last month, and she filled her cart with $500 worth of goods from Target. And then she scanned false barcodes at the self-checkout to make it all cheaper. See, it's a wonderful TikTok hack that she has discovered, Trey.
This is where you have to, TikTok also founded the Chase Bank glitch.
Yeah. So there's the Chase Bank glitch, which means infinite money, which is actually fraud. And in this case, the TikTok influencer who is sharing the shopping hack at Target doesn't realize her shopping hack is actually more colloquially known as shoplifting. Someone noticed the post and contacted the authorities. The authorities then checked her social media accounts and found all the proof they needed. She had posted what she thought was a fun video that showed her in an outfit, the same outfit, picking out all the items that were stolen and then loading them into her car. And again, she's scanning a bunch of things with false barcodes, making all the stuff cheaper. And that's theft. And now she's been arrested and she's facing theft charges.
Why? How do you think that's? I mean, it's one thing. There was this one chick on TikTok who did this funny thing of how many days could she scan something stupid and get into her gym, because so many gyms, they have a little scanner, you have like a QR code on your phone and you just scan it. That's your membership, blah, blah, blah. I mean, she just candy wrappers and all this other stuff. It was funny. And like on the 12th day, they were like, hey, no, you can't scan a Coke can to get in the gym.
Yeah.
She still had a paid membership, nothing fraudulent going on, just funny. Do they not? I mean, it goes back. It's like the Chase Bank glitch or what they called the glitch, which is basically just kiting checks.
Mm-hmm.
If you're, not scanning what you're actually buying, how do you think that's not theft?
Because some people just don't know. Some people just don't understand that there's a fine line between what you think is funny and what the law says is fraud.
I mean, what did you start off this story is out of Florida?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, there, but unfortunately, I'm going to guess, and this is going to be another one of those things, because I'm sure so many people have filmed it. Police are going to have a field day with this one of, how many people have just recorded themselves committing theft.
Yeah.
And
Because
depending on how much it was, it depends on the degree of theft. Is it a misdemeanor or is it a felony?
mm-hmm.
And now you know why. I was just reading an article that stores like Walmart and Target are, have over the last 10 years spent all this money putting in self-checkout lanes and are now going, reversing the process and are taking them out and going to go back to, actual manned, staffed checkout lanes because of crap like this. So thanks.
Exactly.
I'll have to wait in line now.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to wait in line because idiots are stealing stuff. That's kind of, that's what happens. People get an idea. They think it's funny or they think it's fun and don't realize that it's fraudulent, which means it's illegal, which gets them in trouble. And then we all have to wait in line again. And honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. I'm over the self-checkout stuff. And I just
stop, because you live in a sparsely populated paradise. I don't think your checkout lines are really that long.
Yes, they are.
Where?
Cost you less. That line was as long as the beach I was on that morning.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You can advertise right here inside the Treehouse. Just shoot us an email and find out about the sponsorship opportunities within. treehouseonair@gmail.com. That's treehouseonair@gmail.com to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. This is the Treehouse. I'm Dan along with Trey. Very exciting Friday show in store for you tomorrow. So be sure to be right back here inside the Treehouse really every day. But the Friday show is going to be a big one as well, because we're going to go through a holiday gift guide with our buddy Steve Noviello from Channel 4 in Dallas. Yay, Noviello. Having to do community service in the Treehouse again. At least that's the way I like to look at it. Earlier we talked about there was a bit of a cloud hanging over the show with the fallen officer in Greenville, Texas. But we're also all dealing with our own personal things at various times. And I don't just mean that for me and for Trey and Raj and Jerry, but all of us individually. We all have our certain things that are happening, going on. And I'm a firm believer that it helps to talk about those things, especially if you can make just a little bit of fun with it. At least that's how I deal with pain. But I know, Trey, that recently something's going on in your home that is not good, if I may be so blunt about it. And I just wanted to offer you the space, the space, as they say in therapy words these days. I wanted to offer you the safe space to share with us how you're feeling.
I took I took Daisy in for her annual checkup about a month ago, and
how old is Daisy? You're a 3 pound.
Daisy is now 14 and a half.
14 and a half,
man. Not surprisingly, a little bit of a heart murmur for a dog that age. Not uncommon. Unfortunately, she then kind of developed this kind of hacking, like something was stuck in her throat deal, and I took her back into the vet. And unfortunately, the heart murmur had gotten a little bit worse, and did some X-rays and fluid around the heart, and all the signs that she's in the beginning stages of congestive heart failure. Um, Now that can last months, it can last years. Uh, a lot of it's going to depend on how she responds to the medication. Obviously, it's not something I was prepared for. Not something I'm still, I that dog has been by my side for 14 and a half years, and it's a very bleak thought to know the inevitable is coming, and that one day she will be gone. But it is what it is. And I think Kirk Herbstreit said it best when he lost his dog Ben, of dogs, as a breed, their only fault as a species, their only fault is they just don't live long enough.
Mm-hmm. I hope that in her case that her diagnosis is on the years side of things and not the months. But there's really no words for it other than just, I know what you're going through. We need those of us that love dogs the way we do. They're not just our friends, they're our family.
Yeah.
And
no, and I say it all the time when people have lost their pets. There are no words. It's just, and I fully understand. Some people will be like, what's the big deal? And other people understand. It's just, for some people, it's just, it is like losing a human.
Mm-hmm. And for some of us, it's worse because dogs are generally awesome creatures. And when they're not, it's usually at the fault of a human.
Yes.
So therefore, dogs, cats, most animals are better than us humans, because us humans make terrible decisions all the time. There are times where I feel worse about an animal dying than I do about some people, if I may be so frank. And
No.
you said she recently she fell off the bed recently.
Yeah, first time in 14 years.
And we're not making this up. She's an actual 3-pound dog. That's not an exaggeration. She's tiny. So falling off the bed to her is like me falling out of a 4th-story window.
Well, also, and my bed sits very high. My bed seat sits 3 feet off the ground. So
you monster.
Yeah, it sits on cinder blocks, and luckily she fell in a spot where there was basically a pillow below her, and so I heard a little thud and a gasp, and then I frantically got up, and I was looking, trying to hear crying, whatever, and then she just pops out the other side of the bed. I'll always go back to when I first got her, and if I had always had larger dogs, especially like Great Danes, and I had not had her a couple weeks, and I closed the door on her, and I thought I had killed her, and the look on her face is something that will haunt me to the day I die. But my vet told me then, it's like, man, these small dogs are remarkably resilient, and I'm, knock on wood, it seems the case, because she doesn't seem to have hurt herself at all. Yeah, it's basically.
She's bouncy.
Yeah.
Have you thought about getting her? Because I know that they make those little dog bed ramps where they can like walk up to the bed. Have you thought about getting her one of those? Or even better yet, because she is so old. I mean, she's 14 and a half, and in dog years, that makes her like, I don't know, 1,000. Instead of the ramp, which makes her walk uphill, just get her like one of those old people chair lifts that can just slowly carry her from the ground up to the motorized, of course, up to the bed.
I mean, that's what she views me for. I mean, I am her lift. I am her concierge, her valet. Her most entertaining thing she does is every night we start a process. I put her in bed, and then couple minutes later, she's ready to get up. Have me take her downstairs to just, wet her whistle. She's a little thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
We go back upstairs. Then a couple minutes later, it's time to go back downstairs because she wants a little more water, and she wants me to eat one of my Healthy Choice fudge bars so she can have a lick, have a little bit of chocolate, and then come back upstairs, and then usually then we wait about 15-20 minutes, then we need to have one more drink. So she makes the big dumb human go up and down stairs at least 3 times, so until she's satisfied and her thirst has been quenched. So why would she want to use a mechanical elevator when she has the big dumb human that she can
That's true.
get
That's
to do
true.
anything she wants?
She does have you. And the other thing about it, which is phenomenal about Daisy, is that while she is petite, she has a massive tongue. So she could be on the stairs across the room and get a lick of that fudge bar that you're holding.
And that may have what broke her fall. She may have been like wrapped her tongue around, something and slowed down the fall.
That's pretty impressive. Oh, no, I'm falling.
Yep.
Safe. It's like a little parachute.
Yeah.
I've also decided I'm going to edit this particular segment and take out all references to the fact that Daisy is a dog and just make it seem like she's your wife.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're back inside the Treehouse now, along with Trey Trenholm. I'm Dan O'Malley. Thanks for joining us today. I keep seeing headlines about an OnlyFans model, and I decided to click on one, and I'm actually really glad I did. Not for the obvious jokes, but because I found out something very fascinating. And the reason I found it out is because A, I clicked on it, and B, because this particular OnlyFans model actually shared a piece of information with the world. And now I'm going to share it with you. Her name is Sophie Rain. She is the OnlyFans model. Trey, are you familiar with Sophie Rain?
I am not.
She apparently makes it rain really, really hard in OnlyFans dollars. I believe she is the one that makes more money than an NBA player just by doing OnlyFans.
All right.
And she recently shared some of her account info, which includes, because people were wondering, or questioning the validity of her making millions and millions of dollars per year by just being an OnlyFans model, especially when she's not the hottest woman you've ever seen. Okay. She's cute. Don't get me wrong. She's a cute girl. But there's lots of pretty people out there that don't make near as much money. But she is. And I give her credit on that. She's okay, fine, I'll say it. She's Sophie Rain's making it rain all over the place for herself. And good for her. Get that bag, girl. That being said, there is one sucker out there that is giving her $4.7 million to date. So if you're wondering how it is an OnlyFans model can make millions of dollars, don't question how she does it. Question the people that give the money. Because she has a client, and she showed this online. She has a OnlyFans client that to date has given her $4.7 million. And that is insane to me. What's also insane to me is when you start reading through and researching some OnlyFans models and finding out that a large number of these OnlyFans models, the reason why they make so much money is because they have a community and they communicate with this community, right? Mm-hmm. They have that one-on-one connection with people. So it's not just, showing things, but it's also connecting. Real, authentic way. When most of these OnlyFans models pay other people to do the communicating for them. They'll just take the photos, shoot the videos, post the stuff, but then they'll hire other people to do the actual one-on-one communication, because since it's a chat, it could be Bubba from Burleson, not necessarily Sophie from San Francisco. And there's a lot of that going on. So on this particular story where Sophie Rain talks about her top OnlyFans spender has spent over $4.7 million on her, it gets revealed by a number of people that OnlyFans models will hire virtual assistants or virtual agents to manage their accounts for them. So most of the time, you're not talking to the models themselves. Someone even said, a guy I used to work with in Los Angeles as a writer, he had a hard time finding a job and wound up getting work as an OnlyFans chatter and makes about $350,000 a year running channels for a few different girls. And then the jokes come in about men truly helping other men, just not realizing it, and keeping the brotherhood alive with hope and such. But it makes sense, because if you were going to try to connect with a man, who better to communicate with a man than another man? Because men know what men want, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's
the logic holds.
Cut through all the BS, and and they say porn addiction is one of the fastest growing things. And I don't know. I don't know where the first step of a 12-step porn addiction starts, but I feel like $4.7 million is a really good spot.
You think $4.7 million donated to one OnlyFans model is rock bottom?
I would hope so, but
he may see it as money well spent, unless he finds the thread I did, in which he finds out that it's not a, OnlyFans model he's been talking to, but a dude. Or as one person said, so wait, you're saying that Mercedes 98's not really my girlfriend? To which someone else responded, no, you've been talking to Mitchell 89.
I mean, if you spent $4.7 million talking to a girl that actually turns out to be a guy, I then think you now have to spend some money on therapy and questioning a lot of things in your life.
Well, not only that, but then you realize that somewhere in another forum is dudes talking about fishing. And when they talk about getting a catfish, it's an actual catfish. It didn't cost millions of dollars, maybe just a few bucks of stink bait. And they actually get to eat it at the end of the day.
Or they didn't use bait at all and they just fisted it. Otherwise noodling.
Yeah. Look what I got. Congratulations. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us today. For all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. For social media, it's at Treehouse On Air. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. And for Trey, it is at Trey Trenholm 1. And if you would like to donate to the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation, you can do so right now. Go to treehouseonair.com, click on Listeners Foundation. All the ways to donate are right there on the website. We will see you tomorrow, right here, back inside the Treehouse.